What's up, guys? We are past the pop culture. My name is Ricky with my co-host here, Mr. Fenn,
Hello.
and today we're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff actually. Because there's a lot of like news or like little things that came out, so it's gonna be kind of interesting.
Mhm.
We're gonna talk about a little bit of The Last of Us, right? Episode 5. It's gonna be a little bit of spoiler talk. We will give you that warning, but we're gonna talk about some other stuff before we get into that. Uh, there's just a lot of things to get into. I think the first thing that I want to talk about is just a lot of like updates about games right now, right? Games that are shutting down, games are getting updates, games are stopping development. It's like a whole mess right now. And it just seems like as a community, we just can't really catch a break.
Yeah, seriously.
First thing being is like Knockout City is closing down. I believe was it Rumbleverse? I want to say
Rumbleverse.
Rumbleverse was closed. Now this is closing. We're having a lot of like um live service online
Going bye
games
bye.
getting closed down that are just like not really being able to be supported. Um, it kind of stinks. I mean, of course, like we played Knockout City a lot. We liked it a lot,
Mhm.
but there were some problems like that weren't addressed, and we were like, they got to address it, or
Live.
they're not going to be able to stay open for much longer. And then now I'm seeing this, and I'm like, well, that's kind of
Still not
sad.
wrong.
So I guess we're not wrong on that, but I don't want to delve too much into the details. But basically, they're gonna do one last season, season 9. Uh, it's
It-
it's good. I guess it's like just a goodbye, a season pretty much. It's just hey, we're adding this little bit of content, then we're pretty much done. It's gonna start on the 28th of February, right? And then 12 weeks, and then final event, and then the servers are shutting down. But I was looking at some of the Twitter comments, and they were saying that there's gonna be like which is nice is that the game devs they're saying, oh well, people can just host their own servers. It's just that we're not going to do it. So there's probably going to just
oh,
be a
okay.
small community
Mhm.
of people who are playing, but the game's basically dead. And it's kind of unfortunate. Uh, I don't really know what to say outside of like, man,
I saw it coming.
uh, yeah, I just feel bad. It just stinks when you see like smaller companies being like, all right, we got to close this game because like I like game preservation. I think preserving as many games as possible is good.
Mhm.
And so it just kind of stinks that like, oh, okay, well, people are not going to be able to experience this game, or it's just going to be more difficult, right? So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's like when games shut down, I always feel kind of like it's a sad thing. I mean, it is a sad thing, but there's like I feel like part of the culture gets hurt when like these things close down, right? There's very few games where I'm probably like, no, don't ever let this see the light of day again. But
Name one.
name one.
Or is that too
No, because I'll
controversial?
start us a rant on
Okay,
Last of
never
Us
mind.
2. But
Oh.
anyways, so
Never mind.
not to get into a rant. Back for Blood ends development. Turtle Rock basically saying, hey, we're gonna stop development, put out some of this last content. We're gonna start shifting to doing a new game. I We don't know what it is. It's not announced. They're just like, we're gonna be quiet and we're gonna be developing, and you'll see us in like sometime in the future. That's basically what they said.
I don't
I
like
don't
that.
know if this is like a save face kind of thing where because they came out pretty cocky about like, oh, this is basically Left 4
Left for
Dead
Dead.
3.
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna be better. Essentially, that's what like it kind of felt like with the way that
Mhm.
they're saying or trying to market this thing. But it's not Left 4 Dead. I don't know what it is. It's just maybe just Valve has like some sort of
Bad.
like like fairies in there that sprinkle happy juice in your brain. But Last of Us, Left 4 Dead is better than Back for Blood in my opinion. Um, but yeah, it's still though. It's like okay, another game getting axed, essentially, right? Like
It's
people are
barely
still gonna
been a
play it.
year.
Yeah, like people. I
That's
think they
mean.
I think they anticipated this to be a lot better and a lot bigger. It
Yeah.
just didn't really there was just something about it, and I can't remember, like, it just didn't click the way that, like, Left 4 Dead just does,
Yeah.
right? I'm not sure if it's, like, something to do with, like, the combat or specifically. I think some of it has to do with, like, level design,
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just it
I
is
don't
what
know
it is,
why.
but
It,
yeah,
it
they're
just wasn't a good game. I don't.
I just didn't enjoy it the same way that like Left 4 Dead 2 is, or even the first one, right? Like, but I'm not sure if it's that nostalgia glasses or
It could be.
like, because like I mean I didn't grow up playing it, but I remember like YouTube, like watching people play it. I played it like here and there with friends, right? Like, so there is a little bit of nostalgia to it. But I don't know. I mean, I couldn't get into it the same way that like Left 4 Dead. It just has that magic, I guess. I don't know what it is. Last of Us though, and that's why, because I mentioned The Last of Us when I was talking about Left 4 Dead. PC release pushed back. What do you think about that, Fen?
That's kind of weird. I don't know why they wouldn't just like release it now to kind of capitalize on the show being like super popular, and then, like, because people are gonna want to play it, right? Like, hey,
Yep.
it's a game, let's go play. And then they're just like, let's delay a little bit because they
Yeah.
want it to be like the best version or whatever. It's like, just release the stupid thing. Like, come on, why
I don't
wait?
know what a couple weeks is really gonna buy them, right? Because they still, I mean, unless they're just, I don't know, since it's digital only, but you still have to like get it approved by Steam and stuff like that, I'm assuming. So it's like, I don't really know how much more work they can do. I think this is more like a marketing thing. I think
that's probably
I don't know,
they're releasing it when the show's over. I think that's what they're gonna do.
yeah, they're probably like, oh, we'll probably get more because people are gonna want more of it, so they're gonna want to play the game. But I don't know. To me, it's like Naughty Dog always pushes everything back. They always shift around, right? Uncharted 4 delays. There's always been delays on almost every single like I don't know. I mean, going far back, yeah, like especially around the Uncharted series, like everything's gone slightly delayed or things were kind of changed around or shuffled. So, which is fine, right? It's not a big deal. But I don't know. I feel like it's more about just like they want to try to capitalize it as best as possible, because you did have a lot of games come out recently, right? Hogwarts Legacy. You had oh, what's that one that everyone's dunking on? It's like that woman where she gets transported into like
Forspoken.
Forspoken, yeah. There's that one. There's just been a lot of games that have been kind of releasing lately.
Yeah.
And
but see, now they have to
I think
contend
they're
with
like
Star
they want more.
Wars. That's around the time Star Wars comes out.
Oh shoot! So I really don't know. I think right now it's just a bad time because all these games are releasing. So I think they're just trying to find a good cushion spot. But again, I don't really know like how the numbers are going to do on PC. Apparently, they're saying the numbers are growing. Like people are buying it because they're going, watching the show, and then they want to play the game. So it's either people like, oh man, I forgot how good the first one was, and then they go and they buy it on their new console, or and then they're gonna want to replay it again. Or if it's like if they're bringing new people, I don't know really, like, because they're saying, oh, they want to make it the best version possible. I'm like, if you delayed it for like 3 months, sure, like a couple more
like
weeks.
A couple weeks.
It's like, what are you really like? I don't know how much like work they can really get in, and it's like it's just a PC port. Not to say that porting is easy, but it's like, come on, like.
It's already done on the PlayStation 5, so why not? It should be done with PC.
I don't really know what the plan is here for it. It's just, I don't know, but I'm not really particularly upset about it. It's just, I think it's just such a weird move by Naughty Dog to do that. But speaking of weird moves, I guess, though, we got Diablo 4 open beta dates.
Why is that weird?
Because they had their mobile, right? They had mobile come out,
we don't talk
and then they've just swept everything under and to be like, here's Diablo 4, guys. I just feel like mobile came out, everyone was roasting mobile because like you had to pay all this money and do all this stuff, and then now they're just like, Diablo 4 is here, boys. And then it's like we're getting that beta going, and then it's like I just love how we're just essentially being like, yeah, mobile doesn't exist anymore.
That is,
funny. I call it mobile. It's Immortals or whatever it is, but it's whatever.
You're not
wrong.
Really it's care. Still mobile. $500,000.
So, but there's some stuff coming out. But you can talk about it because you're more of a Diablo fan than I am.
Which is unfortunate because that's, anyways. So I guess they're gonna possibly announce the rumor around like the IGN Fest or whatever it's called. And then also, I guess Sony is rumored to have an event as well. So they might also announce it there. And then some developer on the team says, "Oh, if only there was some certain event coming soon that we could possibly." So it's pretty much, well, unless he's lying, right? But it's pretty much confirmed they're gonna say something. We're not sure if it's an open beta or another closed beta because it comes out this year in June. So
Yeah.
it makes sense to have a beta like now because only certain people played it and they're like, we need it now. So hopefully they kind of
We'll
get the
see.
open beta going and see what kind of monetization there is. If there is any. There's apparently not, but it's
I don't
Blizzard.
know, man.
It's Blizzard we're talking about,
Like Activision always got their grimy little fingers in
Yeah.
Blizzard stuff. So I
You
guess
like
speaking of
battle
Blizzard,
passes, right?
right? We got One Punch Man being a crossover for Overwatch 2.
So stupid.
I think this is stupid, but it's kind of funny. It's a funny crossover. Like I'm not saying it's bad. I just think it's kind of stupid. It's funny. Like it's kind of cool that they're doing it. But yeah, it's supposed to be for a Valentine event, so you'll be getting the stuff soon.
Just everyone
You can
go
get it.
look at the skin. Just
Yes, the skins are amazing. But the crossover is gonna be from the 7th of March to the 6th of April. So that's when you can look for it. But I just think that it's amazing that they're doing that. I think it's so funny.
Oh man, yeah, I laughed so hard when I saw that skin, man.
Yeah,
Blizzard.
I love gaming. It's actually a good skin though. I like it.
It is. I can't wait. Where's Call of Duty anime skins? We need more.
I know, but we'll see. So a weird thing that I just thought, when you showed it to me. Okay, so Sony Pan's AI system for music recommendations in games, right?
Mm-hmm.
People want to check out the articles on Game Rant. I actually would check it out because it is kind of interesting because they give you a little diagram, I guess, how it's supposed to kind of work. I really don't get it. So they're saying that they're going to give audio recommendation based on text information and video content. So the AI is just going to be able to see what you're doing, and then give you audio files. But don't games already have music?
Yeah, and I'm glad because I was literally going to ask you that when I was reading this. I don't like. What's the point? But, like, does that mean we don't need game music anymore? Like, there's no point in composers for video games? Or
No. If they try to kill game music like that, I'm gonna riot. Like, they can't do that.
Like,
imagine you're playing like no. Imagine you're playing Dragon Quest, right, on your PS5, and then you hear the. I'm not even gonna sing the tune because I don't want it to get like.
Yeah.
I don't want to get hit with anything. But you got the opening thing coming on, and then Spotify is just like, hey, let me just play this song for you, and then it's just something like yeah, Ed Sheeran, Shape of You, whatever it is, and then it's like, wow, thanks guys, I really appreciate that. I did not want to hear the orchestrated because like the Dragon Quest soundtrack orchestrated really good. I only had it on the orchestrated mode when I played through 11, so I can just imagine when you're playing Elden Ring, you got some Britney Spears in the back and I got the AI going,
some Backstreet Boys or something.
Yeah, hit me baby one more time, when you're playing Elden Ring or something.
Getting absolutely
well, you're getting hit in the face, so I feel like the AI would so I don't really know why. I hope this doesn't kill. I don't think it's gonna kill game music. But I think it's gonna allow other developers to be a little bit more lazy and to be like, connect your Spotify, right? And then it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
The only thing that I could see maybe is good is now there's gonna be more game music on Spotify, maybe. I know. I mean, it's not always hard to find.
But it's but the thing is, it's why though? Because now I have to be connected to the internet. I hate when I have to be connected to the internet just to play a stupid game. It's like, if this is a single player game, why do I need the internet? It's just and then this is just gonna add to it, right? Because now people are now they may just say, oh, we'll open Spotify so that the game music doesn't it's not on the disc or something. They save space or something, and so the download's probably smaller, and maybe they just get it from a server. But then it's just and then what if you have bad internet, right? Then you're just gonna have choppy music playing in the background because you have poor connection. I don't really see it being useful, I guess. It's just kind of weird. I mean, if there's games specifically made to integrate this
Mhm.
together, right? Like Rock Band or
Well, yeah, that
Guitar
makes
Hero or
sense. Yeah.
something, then that's fine. I can see it, but it's a I don't know. I guess maybe supposed to be like for maybe like VR, right? Or you can like go in and play music within it. I guess maybe. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's supposed to. You're
It's
supposed
weird.
to. I don't. It's supposed to like, and then also too, because you're gonna have an AI running in the background. Like, how much is that gonna eat up your resources for the game? So now that
Mm.
developers are gonna have to make games that run just that little bit better because now they have this AI constantly scanning. And I don't know how well the AI is gonna program, like how much resources it's gonna take up,
Yeah.
right? But then if you have
Exactly.
like an older, like it's gonna be for the PS5, I'm assuming. But like in a few years, once the PS5s are kind of dying, like from use, right? Like, and then they get a little bit, get some wear and tear in there, it's going to be a lot more difficult. And it's just like, look at these live service games, right? Like they're dying now, and then it's going to be kind of difficult to play them anymore, right? Versus like a single player experience. It's just like as long as the game's there, you can keep playing the game, right? Like,
Yeah.
but when live service games die, you can't play them anymore. And it's like you're gonna have this where it's like the music is gonna be AI generated. And it's just a kind of another thing where it's like, well, what if you can't connect? Well, you can't listen to the music now. And it's like I just don't want like developers to get lazier because they're like, oh, they can put some Spotify sponsorship music for some artists in so
Yeah.
that we listen to that, right? And like because it's like it's AI, but it's not like these things are guided, right? They're not just like, oh, type, and then it generates everything on its own, right? Like there's things that get like tuned in, and it's just like the last thing I want is like, yeah, we were joking about like, Shape of You, like Ed Sheeran playing, when you're in like some club,
Yeah.
right? Like if you, let's say you're playing like GTA or something or some game, and then you're like in a club, right? And then so it opens up Spotify and it's
Yeah,
just
that
going to start
makes
playing like sponsored music, and so now you're getting fed more ads essentially because not a
I
song you
see.
really want, but it's because companies are going to be able to prioritize maybe their song in the algorithms,
I
right? And then
see.
so you're forced to listen to their stupid music,
Ah.
and it's like who gets added into this AI for music? Is it going to be small indie music bands?
Nope. It's
Is
gonna be
like, is it
Pepsi.
gonna, and it's like, and it's maybe Spotify, but then what if Spotify goes down? Spotify is very unsustainable as a business. Like they lose billions of dollars if they
That's
just go
true.
down. I mean, is Sony gonna host all these songs? They could, but then it's like again, like it's just like I was mentioning earlier, game preservation, right? Like
Yeah.
when we do these things, it's all in the cloud, it's this and that. We can't really preserve the games. It gets more difficult. And I mean, you still can, but if it's just like, oh, an AI, right? Like comes in, it's like, oh, listen to this song. But then like is the AI different? Because remember how they said like it'll access the player's like facial features and stuff like that, like
Which
to
is
like how they're
weird.
responding, which
Yeah.
is like, okay, now you're monitoring us, right? So like they have to see you, right? So they're monitoring you playing the games, and we've already talked about how Microsoft's doing
Microsoft's
a bunch of weird stuff. So
This is
it's
kind of
like I
scary,
don't want to.
man.
I just want to play, Super Mario Brothers or Castlevania, and like I don't want to be being fed like AI curated content because I'm like getting my butt kicked or something, right? And it's like I just want to play the game, and then also it comes down to like the intentions, right? Like now you have intentions from the creators versus
Mhm.
this AI, right? Like
Right.
because music's very important, right? And like you've talked about this a lot before, like the score in a movie or a TV show is very important to you, right? You
Yes.
like listen to the soundtrack. So
Yes.
now you're gonna have uh a different experience for multiple people, right? Because it's gonna be based off of like the environment, the room. It's not gonna be the exact same song for everybody. So then it's like, was the intended visuals and the intended emotional effects of that game part or whatever, is that going to be carried over and translated for every single person now? The
No.
vision is now different
Yeah.
from what the creator intended versus what the AI thinks it should intend. So then it's like, well, now we're getting multiple versions of the same game. So then it's like, well, where's the art in that? You can't curate it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
That's
it's
scary.
like there's no point to curating the AI to play a specific song because you want it. Like you just put the soundtrack you know, in there, and it's like, I don't know. It's like for me, there's like a lot of problems with this, and maybe I'm overthinking it, and they're just gonna be like, hey, here's some Spotify access on like when you're driving a car, and you can play music from your playlist. Like maybe that's what it really is.
Yeah, but like it's never gonna stop there, right? If you know.
But I don't know. I just think it's kind of stupid. Like it's like now from what the the developers intended versus now what the AIs intended, we're really diverging from that. And because it's like the kind of song that you're playing could kind of like the AI could mess up, right? And just start playing like this a terrible song, you know, during a scene that it shouldn't, right?
Like a
And then
sad
it's a
scene and it's playing rock or something.
yeah, and you're yeah. It's just I don't know. I don't really see this. I feel like you're taking away the artistry from games by giving it to AI in this aspect. Like
I
it's
don't think
like,
they
oh,
should
okay.
even do this. Like, period.
It's just another way to feed ads because now people are just gonna pay to have their music in the games that we're gonna listen to.
Yep.
And it's like
And they're probably not gonna have a
I said,
feature where you can turn it off, right?
yeah, and it's like, yeah, like I want to make sure like, you know, we can opt out of it and stuff. So far, you know, it's like I don't really see it being a good thing. Maybe I'm just being like a tinfoil hat or something over here, but I
Oh
just
no,
don't
those are
like
all
it. It's just
valid
like
reasons. Like,
it's
it's
like
not good, man. Especially for
it's like
streamers.
oh yeah, that's true. Actually, I didn't even think about that. That's
Like,
exactly
yeah,
right.
what
If you're
happens to
playing the
them?
game, the song is copyrighted. Do they just
You're
not play with music now? Oh, I didn't even think about that. That
yeah,
adds
but
a
now,
whole can
but
of
see,
worms
yeah, and then you
because
can't play with
you
music, so
can't
now you
stream
have
it, you
nothing, no
can't put it on
sound.
YouTube.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
screwed. Yeah, that's bad. See, there you go.
And then like what if you forget to turn it off, right? Oh man, that's gonna be crazy when that comes out. You're gonna have some big streamer,
Yep.
right? They're playing the game, and then they're like, oh, let's check out let's all check out this like one room in the game, and then they start playing some copyrighted song, and then they're like, oh
Right.
shoot. And then they get striked right then and there and they
Yep.
lose their account, right?
Yep.
Like, and then it's just like, well, or like they put it in like the song is in the game and it's in the
Yeah.
background because remember it's like even if it's just playing in the background like I said it's in a club scene and then like you know
It's
you
just
got
like
the
background
music
noise.
going in the
Yeah.
background and it's a real song and it's just like oh well too bad you know it's copyright strike so now you lose all your monetization so
It's
it's
bad.
like
It,
there could
I
be
don't know,
some
man.
problems with this I hope I imagine that they're gonna at least allow you to turn it off but then it's just like it's turned off, but then how do we really know they're not still collecting our data to help
It probably
curate this
still be
AI?
on. That's the thing.
Because they say, oh, you can opt out of it. I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like I opt out for this stuff and it still collects my data. So it's like that's how it
Yeah,
feels like. So it's
I've
like
heard some
I
things.
don't know. It's I think that little checkbox, you know, it's
It's
it
just a
doesn't really
facade.
mean much. Yeah,
You're just saying no to
but
that article, but they still turned it on. That's it.
yeah,
That's
so
bad.
it's just kind of weird. I don't know. The last two things, right? First Grammy for video game score / soundtrack winner announced. I think that kind of ties into this what we're talking
Yeah, see,
about,
I was
right?
about to say that. It's like, what happens to this? Right?
So then it's like best score soundtrack for video games. If things are just AI curated, it's like can it? You
It's
can't.
still gonna be Ed Sheeran or whoever, the popular artist is, instead of
Yes,
it being like
I will literally. I will create my own video game console if it comes down to that. I won't. I like
it's stupid, honestly. Like
if it starts getting down to like they're forcing me to listen to some Ed Sheeran while
yeah.
I'm playing, you know, like I don't know, Assassin's Creed, right? Like this, and it's
Yeah,
like
jumping off a building and you're safely, of course, because that's Assassin's Creed, and then it's, Ed Sheeran playing. Or it starts playing,
it's
I
like
believe I can fly.
yeah, it's like I don't know. I mean, we're half joking, but there is some stuff that like I mean that's good for Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like the game and stuff, and I guess it has a good soundtrack, and I didn't know that. But it's gonna become a lost art very soon because Sony's gonna push all their first party developers and stuff, right? Like the developers they own, and then like the third parties that they work with that make exclusives, they're probably gonna want to push them to try to use it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think
Just
they'd go
another
out of the
L.
way to patent this just for nothing, Who knows? Maybe it's just a flop and a fail, and that's what I hope it ends up being. But yeah, it's like I don't know why they just want to take the art out of games. Like they just really
Or
want to.
why is it like such a obsession with AI? I'm starting to like get
It's
annoyed
it's
with
just
it.
a fad. It's a fad. AI is a
Ugh,
fad. It's like how everyone thought robots were going to do everything in like
yeah,
in the early 2000s. Everyone's like, oh, by the time you're in high school, the robots are going to be doing everything for you. No, they're not. They're still stupid. The robots. They're
there are
not at the
dogs now.
point
They can
of.
do flips.
Yeah, I mean, it
What's
takes a
so
lot
scary?
longer. AI, and all that stuff. Like it's powerful. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like it's. I don't know. It's
I
like
don't know.
in
I'm
art,
scared of AI to be honest.
I don't think it really has a place in art unless like you have a specific reason, right? Like some
Yeah,
people use it, but because the thing is like AI needs something to go off of.
yeah,
It just steals other people's art and
yep.
replicates it. So it's like, it's like, wow, okay, you just created another artist's work. Wow, congratulations. Like,
Congratulations, you typed in
you know,
words. Good job.
yeah, it's like, and not to reduce it to nothing, but like, because AI is like important. There's stuff that we could use it for, but it's like, I don't know, use the AI to like make it better for like surgery or something. I don't know, like do something
Nope.
productive with it, not just to make
Deep
us listen
fakes.
to a corporate music, right? Like, yeah, like we're wasting the technology on
Yeah.
deepfakes here. Like, let's be for reals, guys. Like, come on, let's do
Have
something
you
good with
actually
it.
seen not the deep fakes, but what a lot of AI people can do now is they can pretend to be a streamer,
Yeah, and like can
and that's
replicate your voice and do all these
scary.
things, and
That's
it's like, you know
scary.
what? Because like some people are saying like, oh yeah, they're gonna pretend to be like Putin, and he's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna launch the nukes, and then it's gonna cause like all this chaos and stuff, and then
You never know.
people are gonna use it like for all these terrible things,
Biden's
and
a
it's
little
like,
bit
bro,
sleepy, so
uh, I don't
we
know.
won't go down that
It's
road.
just
But
it's just gonna be like ridiculous what
spooky,
AI is being used for. We can
very
use it to
spooky.
help humanity. We're over here like having some streamer pay like
Yeah.
10.99 to get that monthly access or whatever it is. It's like, yes,
That's humanity
we're
in a
using it
nutshell.
for the good
Yeah.
purposes. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyways, there's a lot of just stuff that's going on. I guess we can't. Well, man, we're already kind of long right here, but episode 5, it was good, kind of
Quick summary.
interesting. They kind of deviated a little bit, but they're like expanding on it. I'm very
Mhm.
interested to see how they do the next episode. Um,
I'm scared.
yeah, it's gonna. I'm like, I told my dad, like, oh man, this is where The Last of Us becomes The Last of Us,
Yeah,
and he's
that's
like, oh, so
exactly
he's
what
all
I said.
excited. And then
But man,
so
if
we'll see how it
if they
goes.
make changes, I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
I'm gonna riot. It better be like the
I don't
game is
know.
all I'm saying.
It's an interesting part because it's like they're removing certain parts and like condensing things, and so
Hmm.
it's like now even me and my brother is like, well, I guess they're like a third, done. But I'm like,
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if they're like because it's like I don't really know how much they're cutting because it's like so much of the game is like going from one point to the other and
Yeah,
like fighting. So then it's just like, well, we're missing a lot of that. But then it
yeah.
seems like they're gonna kind of add that into this next episode. Because I something that I felt like in the last few episodes is like, where's the fighting at?
That's true.
It's like this last episode had some of it, right? And you
Hmm.
had some of the cool dialogue lines of them like from the game where they're like, oh, and
You know.
they're just starting to like swear and stuff like that. But it's interesting though that they decided to do that action. I feel like, oh, okay, they're cool little Easter eggs, and at least they're paying a
Hmm.
little attention to it. Um, yeah, but it was pretty cool to actually kind of see some fighting. I mean, I like the story of them just going through, but like so much of The Last of Us is the violence of being in the apocalypse, and I felt like they're really like skipping out on that part. And it
Yeah,
seems like maybe this episode is when they're gonna really like, boom, put the pedal to the metal kind of thing and be like, "Yep, this is the apocalypse." Because I feel like they really haven't really focused on that aspect.
yeah. It's a
I
pretty
mean,
barren apocalypse.
yeah, because it's like a lot of it was like a lot of the fighting and everything skipped over,
Yeah,
right? So then it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, here, and then they go, and that's what it feels like sometimes. I'm like, wait, so, but it does make it seem like the world is deadlier. So we'll see how it works for this
comes out
next
Friday,
episode.
by the way.
Yeah, yeah. So I kind of
That's
wanted to
something.
keep it not too spoilery,
Yeah, just
but
go
yeah.
watch
So
it. Cross your
yeah,
fingers.
if you're
Buckle
listening to
in.
this portion, I'm pretty sure you've watched it by now.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that kind of wraps everything up, though.
yeah. It's time for our favorite game
Yeah.
that we suck at.
Dark and Darker, just to go in and get killed in like
Yep,
2 seconds.
that's
So,
right.
with that being said, check out our Twitch, twitch.tv/pastthepopculture. We are live every Monday. Oh no, sorry, we changed
Oh,
that. We're live
yeah,
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Yes,
that's right.
sorry. I'm so used to the old one. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 2 o'clock. We're gonna be playing Dark and Darker this week. And then we'll be kind of going back to our regular scheduled program of 7 Days to Die.
Yep.
With that being said, follow our social medias at Past the Pop Culture on pretty much everything. At Past the Pop Culture on Twitter, Instagram. I think we have Facebook, Hover, right? We got all these things. We've been posting a lot of clips of ourselves lately, just having fun. And then, yeah, if you're on YouTube and you're listening to this podcast, thumbs up, subscribe. We'd very much appreciate it. And if you're on
Mhm.
your preferred podcast listening platform, as always, heart it, thumbs up, 5-star, however it works in there. We very much appreciate it. We very much appreciate all the support. And yeah, I think that's it. That wraps everything up. So come check us out on Twitch. We're going to be playing some Darker and Darker.
Bye.